What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Real Fans FC, episode 31. We're back with another video. We missed last week, but guess what, guys? We're doubling up. We're doing one today and another one we're going to record Thursday. We're going to do 2 episodes this week to make up for last week. Got a lot to talk about. Honestly, it kind of works out because there's so much we would like to discuss that we really haven't been able to because of all the tournaments and giving our thoughts around the brackets. But meanwhile, while these tournaments have been going on, a lot of interesting storylines have been popping up. And I think we're going to spend today really talking about some of those storylines and kind of catching up on some of the things that have happened recently. But before we get into it, how you guys feeling? I'll start off with you, Will. How you feeling, man? All right, Will's gone. Adam, how you feeling, man?
Feeling good. Panthers move on to round 2. So at least something good is going our way in the South Florida world.
Yeah, fuck Tampa. They suck. I'm glad they're out. We knocked them out. All right, Will, we're back. Will, how you feel, Will?
Tampa should have won.
Bay Lightning fan.
Yeah, Tampa should have won. That's all I'm gonna say. Good. Hey, you know what? We'll let the Panthers feel good this year, so we'll move on. We'll rebuild for next season. So, but ready to get into footy action. Talk about it.
Yeah, so Will's not going to be on next episode because of that take. He's officially off, and yeah, that's it. And he's an Orlando City fan, so he's definitely off. So, we let him hang around a little bit, make him feel good about himself, but now
Magic are playing tonight, so we'll see. Maybe we'll win in something. So,
yeah, but yeah, let's kick it off with the first thing. Obviously, this past week, look, the Messi World Tour has begun. It's his first full season. He's filling out stadiums. First Arrowhead at 74,000. Now he just sold out Gillette Stadium at 65,000, but doing it in brilliant fashion, getting 2 goals, 1 assist. Dude has been in an absolute roll. He has 16 goal contributions in 7 games. He's absolutely killing it right now. And a lot of people are talking, is he going to break that Carlos Vela record? And I'll point it to you, Adam, first about the absolute tear he has been on. And if the possibility is there for him to break the record, it looks like he's on track to.
Well, he's definitely on track to. He's already breaking records. They mentioned some bullshit the other day in the game where it was like, oh, he's the first player to reach 5 straight games with 2 goal contributions in each game, like in a row. And I'm just like, okay, what a nice bullshit stat. Thanks, guys. But he's already breaking records. It's just gonna be a matter of how many games he plays for Inter Miami. How many games is he gonna miss that he's already set to miss for Argentina, and then is he gonna be injured? You never know. I mean, especially at his age.
Go ahead, Will.
Yeah, I mean, kind of like Adam said. I mean, Julie, you even said it as well. Arrowhead, holy shit, dude. Like, I never knew people in Kansas City, like even knew about soccer like that. I know Sporting KC's, a team that's their local team, but that was
they had Patty
crazy.
Mahomes there.
I know, yeah.
Well, right. Like, I know there's a team there.
I know, I'll be honest though, I know it was fucking crazy when I saw rumors. I know it didn't end up happening, but I was like, this is ridiculous. When I started reading shit on Twitter that said that, like, it's rumored that Kelsey and Swift might show up to the game, I'm just like, all right, enough of it. Don't bring this shit here. Yeah. I said it was enough fun watching it from afar, but please, no, I don't want to see it. Yeah. Luckily, it was just Mahomes. I'll take that. Never in my life was I actually glad to just see Mahomes.
But even like New England, I saw there was a stat where they said for like the Patriots play there, and it was in Gillette. Tickets were more like the most expensive for this past game against Miami than they ever were forever a New England Patriots game. And I'm pretty sure that was like including playoffs, So it's like, this guy, I mean, obviously, it's Lionel Messi, but I think it's something incredible. I mean, like you guys are asking, can he break the records? Absolutely. I mean, if there's anybody that can do it, it's Messi. Obviously, Adam even said it, his age is going to be the biggest concern. But I think one of the biggest maybe differences between Lionel Messi compared to, because we've seen other superstars in the MLS, obviously David Beckham, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, David Villa, other World Cup winners as well. But the thing is, the difference with them was they didn't really have a team built around them. Inter Miami has basically said, we're going to build a team for you. Go win us a championship. And they already technically have. You guys already won League's Cup last summer. So I think if there's any team to do it, it's Inter Miami. They're built for it. They're ready for the moment, and I think they can cruise. They can put it in cruise control and try to keep going.
Yeah, the biggest thing going against Inter Miami is honestly the MLS Cup format itself. If you're just asking who's gonna win, who's gonna win the league or whatever, like if it was just a league format, I think you could say that it'd probably be Inter Miami over the long haul, assuming Messi doesn't get injured for any serious amount of time, and for the most part, I mean that's been Miami's biggest struggles is injuries, dealing with it when they haven't had the full depth. And as players are coming back, it's only going to get better. So if they keep it that way, the results are only going to get better.
Yeah, so the Carlos Vela record is 36 goals, 11 assists, which make it 47 goal contributions. This man has 16 in 7 games.
Yeah, he would, like I said, it's just a matter of if he's missed games. If he's going to play the game, if he's going to play all the games, he's going to hit it, no problem. Like it's not even a question.
Now
it's just if he just misses the games that he's scheduled to miss for Argentina, then I think he will get the record. If he misses more games with injury, that's where you start to get into the question mark territory.
Now, another thing too that you think about as well is you have Leagues Cup as well. So that tack on however many more games that's going to be. That Carlos Vela didn't have to go through during his time. He didn't have to go through.
But no more U.S. Open Cup, I guess.
Yeah, but even so, I think. Well, I don't know. I guess it depends how deep you go because I think it's 7 games to the final. So,
Miami did go pretty deep, so you can remove those games.
And like you said, the team is getting healthier and healthier. I think by end of May, it should be fully 100%. There should be no more. It's just a matter of outside of obviously Farias, he's the only one that's really missing, and maybe Gomez, which should be probably mid-June at that point. So yeah, like you said, leading into the tournament, everybody should be healthy. I think they should be on a run, and barring any injuries, should be fine. I think they did the math. Potentially, if Argentina was to make it all the way to the final, he would have missed 3 or 4 games. But honestly, I mean, how many games has he missed so far this year? If he's only played in 7, I think he's missed 3 games. He's already missed 3 games and he's leading the league in the Golden Boot race. So it's pretty wild. And, people want to trash on the league or whatever, but dude, he was doing this in La Liga. Like, let's not forget the 94 goal season in a calendar year. Like, that was unreal, absolutely unheard of at the time. I mean, so to do what he's doing, and honestly, watching that New England game,
like you're telling me that it didn't feel the same way. But like, I mean, you could attest to this a little bit more being a Barca fan, but like you're telling me that it's not a similar situation that he's in when like he was at his prime in Barca playing against like a bottom table relegation candidate in La Liga. Like, come on now. Like that's gotta be what it felt like for him at that time. Those were the games where it was just like, hat trick, easy hat trick, or 2 goals, 2 assists, some shit like that, and yeah, he would show up in the big games too, which is why he's so great. But it's like, if you want to talk about easy, I guess, you could look back to some of those times in his career. I mean, even when he went to PSG, look at some of those bottom teams, and that wasn't even as good of a situation.
Think of the last year at PSG, he went 20 for 20 goals, 20 assists, which is even like that'd be incredible here in MLS. Yeah, they consider that because obviously Holland had such an amazing year. But anyways, I guess let's end it. I mean, predictions. Do you think with everything, with Leagues Cup having to go through, with the Copa America, potential injuries, Adam, do you think he does it?
Yeah.
Total contribution. Let's not get into the nitty gritty if he beats the goal record because that might be a little tougher. But if we look at total,
I think he's gonna thrash it. He's already on pace.
Think goes 20 for 20 over 20. I think he goes 25-20. I think
he definitely goes 20 for 20. If I wonder what the odds are for that. I would take that.
I don't know if he gets 30 goals. I mean, I might be completely wrong. I think the assists are really going to rack up.
You never know. That's
Yeah, I mean, but I think he's going to beat it by like 1 or 2, just by the sheer fact that he's going to miss some. He's already missed games. You have Leagues Cup, Copa America. He's missing games there. I think he's just barely going to eke it out and maybe get like 49, 50, like by 3. It's going to be super close. But what about you, Will?
There's a reason why they call him the GOAT, the almighty, powerful soccer player, the legend, the kid that he grew up in Rosario, or whatever you want to call it. I mean, he's going to do it. I don't think there's anyone that can get in his way and stop him. So other than, like you said, Copa America and Leagues Cup with injuries and whatnot, but he can do it.
Dude, do you take away say it's not a Copa America year and no Leagues Cup like Carlos Vela did, he would have demolished that record.
We wouldn't even be talking about it.
He would have obliterated it. The only reason why is because he has to play through all this stuff that doesn't. But and I think that year, and I don't think Vela played in Champions League that year, I want to say, but I'm not sure. But anyways, next one, we're going to keep it here in the States. And this was really interesting news. So obviously about 2 weeks ago, FIFA pretty much put out a ruling saying that you can now play games in any country you want. And about a week after that, La Liga president came out saying that in 2025, 2026, that there will be La Liga games, regular season games, important matches being played in the United States. I'm going to bounce it to you, Will. What is your thought? Do you think this is egregious? Do you like this? Give me your thoughts.
Yeah, just one short word summing it up. I think it's ruining. I think it's kind of ruining for the game. I'll be quite blunt. I love seeing Barcelona come to Orlando. You know, whenever they went down to Miami, you know, I remember we were about to buy tickets. Like, that was awesome. But don't get me wrong, as much as that would be freaking awesome to go to Mercedes-Benz in Atlanta, Georgia, and watch Real Madrid have to take on Atletico Madrid in the Super Clasico and potentially win La Liga, I don't want to see it happen in Atlanta, Georgia. I mean, these games I think are supposed to be meant to play in their country, Spain, England, Italy, respectively. Like I said, I think it's awesome that maybe that they could take that step over here. But I will say this, like, let's just put it into our perspective. What if, like, you know, we're really trying to grow the game in, you know, the Caribbean and stuff. And we said, instead of playing games in Miami or instead of playing games in Austin, Texas or Dallas, we're just going to take these games to Kingston, Jamaica, you know, or Habana, Cuba. You know, I feel like personally, I'd be a little bit pissed, you know, as an Orlando City fan. Like, I don't want to see my guys playing a potential playoff game, you know, somewhere in the freaking ocean, you know, out in the Caribbean. And that's no offense to like any certain country or even our country in that matter for right now. But I think it kind of just takes away. I mean, and Adam could probably talk even more about it. I mean, dude, could you just imagine watching Tottenham Hotspurs versus Arsenal, which just happened this past weekend? Shout out to Arsenal, by the way. The North London derby being played in, let's not even say North London. Fuck it. Let's say North Miami. You know what I mean? Let's just go up to Fort Lauderdale at this point. Let's just play the game up there. Yeah. North New York. Like, I just think it takes away from it. So
yeah, it's a stupid decision. They come enough to the United States for their freaking preseason tours and sell out. They try enough for those games. You're gonna really screw up the whole season ticketing process. So now you're devaluing the season tickets. Clubs like Real Madrid and Barcelona have a wait list where the only way you're getting in, if you don't already have a season ticket, you're not getting one unless somebody on that list dies. Like, that's just how it is. And now you're going to say, oh, by the way, guys, and you're telling that to the team too. What's a home and an away game? You know, not every team's going to travel there. So now you're saying, okay, so Real Madrid and Barcelona and some other teams are going to go to USA to do a little camp there and play a few games. But then what? What's a fucking small team? God damn it!
Granada.
Help me out. Granada. You ain't sending Almeida or Granada there. You know what I mean? Like, so they basically get to chill at home. Yeah. Now you're really talking about some bullshit. It fucks up your season. It's stupid for the fans. It's stupid for the players. It's I hope they don't go through with it. It's fucking retarded.
Yeah,
honestly.
And I think as someone, I think I can talk about this probably the most because I've seen it with my own team in the NFL, the Jacksonville Jaguars, us losing a game by going to London every single year for over a decade now, and how that's affected the community and stuff. Because, and even more so in that case, because you're talking about a season where you have 8 home games. We have 8 home games, and you take one of them away. And they say it's all for growing the game, and it brings so much money. It keeps the team in the city, but it's bullshit. It's really
and they give you that bullshit by saying, "Oh, but Jacksonville, that's London. It's kind of like London's their second home." Like, yeah, okay, but this isn't a fucking home game. A home game isn't just the fans. The home game is the fans and the routine. A lot of these players, being able to do your normal home routine that you do so many more times a year than just traveling away that you do once or twice a year. It's a combination of factors.
You're not growing the local market. You're not growing the community. If anything, you get more resentment to it. More and more people are getting pissed about it. It's like at the end of the day, I was born and bred in that city. My dad helped build that stadium. It was ingrained in me that I'm going to be a fan of that team. And then you just take a game away and fly it across the country. It's horseshit. And then yet you want to charge the same prices for season tickets as any other fucking NFL team in the league. And I don't see this being any different from La Liga. And like you said, Adam, they're not going to bring Getafe or like fucking
Getafe. That's another good one. Yeah.
Or like they're not going to bring these
Las Palmas.
So all you're doing is bringing the haves and the have-nots and pushing them farther and farther away from each other. Because let's be real. What teams are they going to bring in? They're going to have an El Clasico in Vegas. They're going to have a Madrid derby in New York. Those are the 3 teams they want. Those are the only 3 teams that people know.
And maybe they might bring like a fucking a Villarreal or a Valencia or some shit like that. Just to fill it,
relatively well named, a Real Sociedad.
Real Sociedad, even a fucking Sevilla, even though they've been having trouble, they still have
Sevilla. They're probably being, but like you said, they're still going to charge the same prices for these season ticket members. And then on top of that, you're taking away that home field advantage for those teams, especially how important home field advantage is in the world of football. How important it is that it means to play in El Clasico in El Camp Nou or at the Bernabeu, or like these are so important games, and you're going to make players fly all the way across the country. People in the own country won't even be able to watch it because of the time zones being so fucked up.
Yeah,
they're going to play it at like 8 o'clock here, and it's going to air in like 3 in the morning in Europe. It's absolutely
it's not the same thing as it is for us, where we have games that the latest we have a game is 3 p.m.
And they'll probably do it like they're going to do for Copa America, where it's probably going to be like a 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock game, whatever. So it kind of meshes up well. But even so, it's just it takes away from the integrity of the sport. It's about, and then on top of that, if you're MLS and you're USL, you hate this, obviously. But like
they take it away from now, because that's the whole point of having the MLS, right? Is that these are domestic
to grow
leagues.
Your domestic clubs and to grow your domestic.
That's
leagues.
The whole point. All these countries have their own domestic leagues, and the only countries that don't are too small to have a league, and some of them even do. They have smaller leagues, but not really at a professional level. Like I'm pretty sure like Liechtenstein or something like that has a team in like the Swiss league or some shit. You know what I mean?
But the thing too is that you need to grow and push your domestic league. There's a reason why in the United States for like a century we fucking sucked, because we didn't have a domestic league. The growth of the domestic league is so important. It's so important. And
that was one of the stipulations from FIFA to get a World Cup here in the first place in the 90s.
And if you let these Real Madrids and Barcelona comes, all you're doing is growing their fan base, and all you're doing is growing more Barcelona La Liga fans. You're not creating more American fans that are supporting the grassroots soccer, which needs to be happen. You need kids to grow up wanting to play for Inter Miami. You need kids growing up wanting to play for Orlando City. That's how you foster this academy and have people grow and grow the sport in the league. And not even just the MLS, but look at the USL. This could extremely detriment a lot of the USL markets, depending on where they play. Like, people are going to be like, I don't want to follow my USL team. I'd rather watch. Like, there's so many like attributes that go into this that I think it goes so much deeper. Like, you need to grow the sport. Because now, if think about it, Barcelona, Real Madrid, Juventus, Liverpool, they have academies over here already. So now these players are going to see that. They're going to go to those academies. And while maybe some people may argue whether or not that's a good thing, but you need to have the growth of the domestic league in here. And I think it's I think it's insane that they're allowing this to happen. I think it's crazy. I think they see the cash cow that the United States is, because trust me, La Liga is not the only one looking into it. I'm sure the Premier League's looking into it. The only difference is I think the Premier
they're not
League
going to get away with it.
fight. They'll probably fight back harder.
Their fan bases, they can't get away with shit so easily in the Premier League. That's probably, you could say what you want. I know Julian does talk a lot of shit about English fans, but that is one of those benefits that of being, so stubborn and so hard-headed with these things, is that the FA cannot get away with things that easily with them.
I mean, they were the quickest with the Super League. They were shut that shit down. And that, I also think too, what this isn't even mentioned yet, and I'm sure they're already planning in it. The biggest one, let's be real, is Liga MX coming to the United States for regular season Apertura and Clausura games. That is the biggest one. You tell me they don't want to Chivas Club America in like Los Angeles for a regular season playoff game, for a playoff game?
God.
That's what they want. It's not just La Liga. It's not just the Prem. It's like Mexico as well. It's super big. So I think it doesn't help. And I'm sure MLS is finding any way to fight it, because it's crazy too. And I was reading a stat. I think outside of England, the United States is the most generates the most revenue for the Premier League outside of England, more than any other country. And I think it's even pushing England. I think United States, the Prem might bring in more money from the United States than it might soon probably from England. And what's also wild is that I was thinking about it, and a lot of stats aren't really there, is I wouldn't be surprised, and I'm curious what you guys' thoughts are, that the Premier League is probably bigger than the NHL. This is my theory. I don't know. I have no stats to back it up. But if you look at viewership numbers, and if you look at internet view, YouTube views for US based broadcasts like NBC Sports, which is what we get over here. We won't get recommended Sky Sports on YouTube over here unless you manually look for it. I think the Premier League might be bigger than the NHL. It's just not talked about because, the powers that be here hate soccer because they can't throw ads every 5 seconds on top of it.
Yeah.
That's neither here or there. That's a whole other thing. But yeah, I think it's absolutely wild, but it seems like it's inevitable. It seems like it's happening. I think the La Liga, it's just going to be turned into a shit show. They see the success of what it's having with the NFL. And as somebody who is currently living through it, it is bullshit that we lose a game, and important games at that. Did you see those London games? There's no atmosphere.
They look
they think it's like a convention. There's just no atmosphere. Yeah, dude. Yeah, it looks like a friendly. You see, all 30 team jerseys.
They don't play football in England.
Yeah, it's a freaking rainbow in the crowd.
And the same thing would happen here.
They're all cheering for everything.
You tell me, an El Clasico game and would have that same intensity in New York? No, it won't. It'd be so split. It wouldn't be a home game. It just, I don't know, man. But yeah, whatever. I guess we'll see. Only time will tell. But let's move on to the next topic. Let's talk a little bit of World Cup qualifying in regards to Concacaf. So obviously, United States, Canada, and Mexico are hosting the World Cup in 2026. So this is going to shake up a little bit in the way that teams qualify through CONCACAF. We're going to have probably the most, we're for sure having the most teams ever involved in the World Cup with 48 teams, but also that goes the same for the Federation as well. I believe, Will, correct me if I'm wrong, there's going to be 6 teams. There's 3 available spots in this qualifying round.
Yeah, like you said, 3 automatic with Canada, USA, Mexico. 3 automatic from CONCACAF will qualify, and then 2 will run into the playoff bound.
Okay, so 4 total get in from CONCACAF through qualifying.
No, we could potentially 5, because 2 of them will go to the playoffs.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I got you. Yeah, I know what you mean. Never mind. That took me a second. Yeah. But I'm gonna pull it up here. I got it right here, so we can kind of go through it. Yeah. So perfect. Let me zoom in a tad. All right. So look, I don't think as you kind of go through these groups, you already kind of know who's going to be the favorites. But we'll kind of run through and kind of give our quick thoughts about what we're going to go deeper into it maybe as we go through the next round, and they narrow down who's going to get in, because I think that's where things are going to get super interesting. But as for Group A, I think Will would agree with me, and so will Adam. Honduras seems to be the clear winner here.
Yeah,
they're the most talented team. They have the most to gain. Will, I believe it's just the winner from each group, right?
Top two. So top two teams.
Top two move on to the next round.
Yep, top two. Right. So I'm going to say Honduras, Cuba. That's just like, obviously Honduras is going to absolutely wipe the floor. They're probably going to go undefeated. I know Cuba tends to have a lot of talent. So those seem kind of like me. Let me know if you guys disagree with me at all.
No, I think, I agree. Honduras, they seem like the clear favorite. You know what sucks about these qualifiers, looking at a little bit at the schedule? 2 games are going to be played this summer, like you were saying, Julian. They start within a month or a little bit less than a month. The next 2 for the second round, for this same round, won't be until next summer, right before the Gold Cup is and stuff.
Really?
So it's so it's like it's a long ass period. So like you said, we'll cover more obviously about the third round and stuff, but we'll be pushing a little bit of time with these.
Not even in September or October, November? No, none.
That's Nations League, Concacaf Nations League going back at it. Yeah.
Going back at it again. Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. All right. So let's go to the next group. To me, obviously, hometown boys, my blood, Los Ticos are going to absolutely wipe the floor. They're not going to lose. The only team that may give them a run for their money, which I'd even be surprised at that point, would be Trinidad Tobago.
Trinidad Tobago not horrible. Top 100
and they
team ranked in the world rankings.
And they did do fairly well against the United States. Obviously, Jorginho Jess got a red card during all that. And obviously, historically, Trinidad was the team that knocked out the United States out of the World Cup in 2018. So to me, Costa Rica wipes the floor with this group, and then next would be Trinidad. To me, this is the next logical choice.
Yeah, this is one of the few easy groups where I can easily say that it's going to be Costa Rica and Trinidad, and the other 3 teams are just there
happy to be
for
there.
Fun. Happy to be there.
Happy to even be in a qualifier.
Hey, be careful with the Bahamas, man. I don't know if they can get those
sure
boys
about
from
that?
the Atlantis. I mean,
I looked up their
even
stadium.
Feel the team?
I looked up their stadium. They play in a high school field. Which is funny because they have a national. They actually, it's funny because they have a national stadium right next door, but they don't play there. Yeah. Guess they don't give a shit.
That's
the only thing. Yeah, I mean, seriously, they have a national stadium. They don't put them there. So I
think they're more of a baseball country, if I'm not.
Their baseball stadium is also next to their stadium, and it looked nicer than the stadium that they currently use for some of their games. But then again, I only looked at games that were Bahamas versus like Cayman Islands, so I would think that if they're going to play those at home, they don't need to put that in the national stadium.
Yeah, the biggest game, everybody knows, the biggest game in the Caribbean is the Virgin Derby.
The Virgin Derby, baby.
Hey, I don't know if you guys saw that. I don't know if you guys saw that a couple weeks ago. The Virgin Derby, British Virgin Islands versus United States Virgin Islands.
They went to like PKs. That was actually kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
They did. And then they did. And the British Virgin Islands won in penalties.
Yeah. And then one of the Virgin Islands beat San Marino. Didn't they play them recently?
Yeah, that'd have been funny.
That's a classic.
I think they did.
Right there.
I'm looking now.
Honestly, if you're
it
San
wasn't
Marino,
the U.S. It wasn't the U.S. That's for sure.
It was the British Virgin Islands.
Because I just clicked.
San Marino played one of the islands for sure. Maybe it was St. Kitts.
Well, I don't know. It doesn't show up. So
I would be down. They honestly, San Marino needs to play more teams from these islands as well as like the Pacific Islands. I'd be all for that. But all right, let's move to the next group.
It was St. Kitts. It was St. Kitts.
Okay, it was St. Kitts. Okay, that's the all right.
Oh yeah.
All right. Yeah. So Group C, this one's a little tougher for me. These are kind of all relatively mediocre teams. Obviously, the Haiti should be the favorite. They have the most talented roster. The only thing is, obviously, they have a lot of outside political issues going on within their own country with the, I don't have to go into everything going on there. So that could potentially affect the way that they play growing is, or they could be highly motivated, one of the two. But even with that being said, they should be the best team coming out of this group. And I'm going to go Curacao with the next. Curacao kind of has that history. I know Columbus Crew goalkeeper legend Eli Room play for Curacao. And that's all about I know. That's all I know. But I do know they're generally a team that competes and always kind of pushes to get into the Gold Cup tournament and sometimes makes it. So
yeah.
I'm sorry, St. Lucia, Barbados, and Aruba. I'm assuming that you guys are just not very good. So I'm going to go with the two teams that I trust. Haiti should wax the floor with this group.
I actually like Curacao. I was looking at some of their matches, and I think they can even win the group. They played a couple
they're a
hybrid
competitive team.
They played a couple hybrid friendlies in Turkey. The first was the 21st of March against Hull, and they won 1-0. And then they also played a Turkish team, Alanyaspor, and of course, in Alanya, Turkey, and they drew 2-2. So, I mean, that's pretty
Not
cool
bad,
that they were able to do those kinds of hybrid friendlies. But in their international matches, like one that stands out in the Nations League, they beat Trinidad 5-3.
That game was crazy.
Which is pretty good.
I remember watching
They also drew El Salvador twice in friendlies.
El Salvador,
they're a competitive team.
They're a sleeper team.
Yeah, I think like you guys said, Barbados can give a scare every now and then, not that well. St. Lucia, I mean, best of luck. Good luck, guys. Aruba, I've been there one time for a vacation. Pretty much it. Curacao, Haiti.
All I gotta say about Aruba is just don't get murdered there by a Dutch random.
Yeah. That's true.
If you know,
Curacao.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the thing that, like I said, I mean, Haiti,
the ABC Island Derby, Aruba versus Curacao.
Oh yeah.
You just need what's the B one? That's the B one.
Bonnier.
There's a lot of freaking B ones. Bonnier.
No, but you have the ABC, the three Dutch islands, and it was Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao. I've actually been to Curacao. All right, let's go to Group D. This is Will's group here, Panama. Look, let's be real. Nicaragua's going to wax the floor with this group. Panama doesn't stand a chance.
Yeah. No, I think I would literally stop watching football if that happens. If Nicaragua beats us, I'm gonna lose my mind. I don't even want to watch the rest of World Cup qualifiers at that point. This should be hands down. Yeah, like hands down, because we first play Guyana. If I'm not wrong, Montserrat this summer.
Guyana.
We play them in a few weeks. Guyana.
Christ, this is gonna be so easy for you guys.
So it should be, it should be. But you know what? I like it. And I'm going to be quite honest, because we all have Copa America this summer for our respective countries. So I think it's good because we'll have a couple other friendlies in between there. So I really want the guys, I'm not saying this to be I'm just obviously trying to remain humble, but we need to put goals on these guys. We need to get 6, 5, even if we win 4-0, okay, but we need young guys playing. We need goals. Get some minutes.
You got to put your B squad out there. You have to put your B squad out there.
Respect.
Don't even risk it. Yeah. Don't even risk it. As for second place, I'm kind of between Guyana and Nicaragua. Mm-hmm. I don't think Montserrat is going to be good enough, and neither is Belize. But it's going to be one of those two. I don't know enough in-depth knowledge about Nicaraguan football.
You'd have to think they're a bit better than Guyana.
Yeah, I have to think based off their domestic league and the way they play in the Central America Cup recently and kind of their history that they're going to be better than Guyana, probably a second place. All right, let's go to Group E. This one, another easy one. Jamaica, gonna wax the floor. Second place, I'm going Dominican Republic here. Dominican Republic is actually a team on the rise. They have a lot of young talent. Adam, our own boy, Edison Ascona from Inter Miami, is captain for the Dominican Republic team and has been absolutely balling. Led them to the U20 World Cup last year. They're a team that's really on the rise. They're developing a lot of talent. They're getting a lot of dual nationals from the United States that are getting developed over here. I like Dominican Republic here. I think Guatemala is just they have a great fan base. I've seen their games working at Dry Pink Stadium. But man, watching them play just hurts. It's just not very good.
Makes me want to go to the hospital and
But yeah, I'm gonna go Jamaica and Dominican Republic. I think just like I said, Dominican Republic.
I do like that pick. The Dominican Republic's another one of those. You look at their results,
getting better. They're genuinely getting better,
and the talent they have, and you're like, well, shit. So I'm gonna agree with you on that one. That's a fun one. I hope it happens.
I don't know if you can really say there's a group of death, but Group E would probably be a slightly, all due respect to Dominica and British,
I think
the Virgin Islands.
This one, the Group D, was it Group C is the group of death? Personally,
yeah.
But let's go back to Group B though. So, Will, who you got? British Virgin Islands smoking the fucking table. Just say it, dude. Just say it. We know you want to say British Virgin Islands. Just say it.
Oh, hell nah. Yeah, hey, you know what? Hey, Junior Firpo, like you were talking about, Julian, the dual Nats. Like, I saw this guy. There's another dude that he plays in Sevilla. He used to play at Real Madrid, Mariano.
Yes. Yes.
Like they're really trying, and it looks like more than likely this summer he'll come and hop along with them. But if you got him,
he was a dual national with Spain, right? He was going. Yeah. He was originally playing for Spain, and then dual national over to Dominican.
And it's not to say these guys were like, oh, dude, we're shit. We can't play for Spain. But respectively, Junior Firpo realized, hey, I'm 26 years old or 27. I'm not going to be able to play with Spain. Dominican Republic's a rising talent. Obviously, like soccer is big. It is really growing in their country. So, and I don't know, like I've got a lot of beef with Guatemalans, all over social media and stuff. So low key, respectively, you guys are going to get eliminated here. Go Dominican Republic.
Beef? How do you have a beef with a team that doesn't compete?
Hey, when we played Mexico.
Now you're both on the hit list. Don't go to Guatemala.
Hey, basically,
this cartel's got a fucking hit a fatwa on you guys.
Oh, you from Real Fans FC?
It's on site now.
Oh, they know us now. They got us.
Let's go to Group F. This was interesting to me.
The final group.
Obviously, it's the fans that don't know. Everybody knows I'm Costa Rican, but I'm also half Puerto Rican. So I do have a lot of blood riding on this group. We have Puerto Rico, Anguilla, El Salvador, St. Vincent, and Suriname. So everybody's going to say El Salvador is the favorites to get out of this group. I think El Salvador does get out of this group, but I think they don't get first. And I think Puerto Rico gets first out of this group. Puerto Rico, just like the Dominican Republic, is progressively getting better and better. They have a lot of young talent. I've been following this team for the past year and a half, watching them grow and get better. They have a lot. I don't know if you necessarily call them dual nationals because Puerto Rico's not a country, but they have a lot of players, even within the Orlando Academy and a lot of places in New York where a lot of Puerto Rican large communities are developing through MLS academies. And a lot of those players on that Puerto Rican national team play for MLS Next Pro teams. So there's a lot of talent, and they're getting developed really well. And the big star for Puerto Rico right now is Jeremy Leon, who is playing for Real Madrid and was actually on the bench today for the Champions League game. He is a prodigy who just got signed this past winter transfer window. Has been playing with the Castilla in Real Madrid. And there's a lot of even Bad Bunny retweeted him. It was a huge deal for the entire island to see this guy represent Puerto Rico. He's been probably the best Puerto Rican prospect ever. And then on top of that, there's another Puerto Rican player, drawing a blank on the name for some reason, but he plays in the second division of Spain and actually scored on Atletico Madrid in the Copa del Rey. And he has a lot of potential of going up to La Liga. So Puerto Rico is actually starting to become a growing beast. They're starting to play really well, and a lot of it thanks to the help.
Said, "I'm saying they're coming in first, and I bring receipts."
Bring receipts.
He pulled up the receipts.
He's like, "I'm not just coming out there with the take."
Julian's like, "I'm about to get a national team call up."
I think Puerto Rico has a lot of time. Obviously, there's still so much more to do. These guys are still really young. They're all in developmental stages. There's not necessarily a guy who's like the guy yet, but I do like them. They're going to be hungry. They actually were super close for They made it almost to the final bracket of Gold Cup. They lost in the qualifiers, the final qualifying round in the Gold Cup in South Florida, actually. But like I said, I've been watching it. They got promoted recently into the Nations League, so they're now in the second division in Nation League, pushing for that first division promotion. So, like you said, after these qualifiers, I think this is a team. Obviously, a bit of a homer in me, but I like seeing sometimes it's kind of fun to watch these gritty soccer games being played in a baseball stadium. Because in Puerto Rico, there is no soccer stadiums. It's only baseball stadiums. So yeah, I like and the domestic league there is actually growing as well. You can watch all those games on YouTube, funny enough. But yeah, I think Puerto Rico and El Salvador, whether or not who wins can be a little bit up in the air, but I'm going with Puerto Rico. I think they got a lot of actual raw talent versus El Salvador's aging. But realistically, I think El Salvador should win the group, but don't be surprised if Puerto Rico sneaks up and gets first.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys knew this. I'm going to keep it real, Julian. I've got, at first I was kind of like, I don't know if I can hop on the Puerto Rico train, but I completely, and it hit me again. El Salvador has not won a game, this is including friendlies, all this shit. They have not won a single game since 2021. I was like,
hop on it, bro. Hop on it.
I mean, I think Suriname, you guys know this, Geraldo.
Get on with the Los Boricuas. Come on, bro.
Yeah, right. I think Suriname's clear of El Salvador. I think if they genuinely, I think that game will be played in San Salvador, but Suriname has the talent. They have the depth. They can win it. And then Puerto Rico, you guys got a guy over in Minnesota, Zariq Valentine. I don't know if you've seen him a little, but he's like a center back. And he's solid. Jeremy De Leon, like you said, that, Bad Bunny's boy. So I think Puerto Rico, I honestly, I'm not rooting against El Salvador, but God, that team is bad, man. They're really talent.
They may be able to get past this part, but they're not going to get past Miami. That was a fucking joke of a fucking game. So let's not go there.
Yeah.
But this might be the group of death, honestly. I think you have Suriname, Puerto Rico, and El Salvador.
Yeah, because you got nobody who's like really a standout. So it'll be interesting. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting. Yeah. But so we'll say it. Who you got?
Puerto Rico and Suriname. El Salvador's getting third. I think they're going to get I think they're going to hit the home bus back to San Salvador. They're going to be eating their the pupusas. They're going to be eating their pupusas on the way back home. So they're gone.
I'm not going to lie, dude. This is going to be absolutely if Puerto Rico gets out of this group, this is massive for the island.
That's what I'm saying. You guys got to hype this up. These games, this would be the closest they've ever gotten to a World Cup. If they get out of this group, it would be winning the World Cup. It would be. I don't think Puerto Rico's goal is to make the World Cup. I'm not going to say Puerto Rico's going to go and they're going to upset Japan in the group stage. Yeah, but if they could tie El Salvador, even dude, props to Puerto Rico. Yeah. The future's big for them. So
agreed.
Yeah. As the sport grows, man, it gets better. But yeah, that's our little quick preview of the look. I was a little skeptical going into that because I'm like, look, man, I don't this doesn't seem, but as we go through it, I'm like, shit, you know what? This is kind of interesting. This is going to shake out to be pretty cool. I'm curious to see how all this shakes out and plays as we get closer to 2026. Like you said, it sucks that you don't get to see more of this because we got to do Nations League. But next summer, at least you got some warm-up games within Nations League. Maybe some teams get promoted, whatever, so be it. But yeah, so let's hop over across the pond. And look, we've been putting it off. We haven't been talking about it. I know Adam's been itching to talk about it.
No, there's a reason.
There's the Premier League title race that is on.
Adam's gone.
That is super close right now. Obviously, it's a 3-team race. Some say it's a 2-team, depending on how you view Liverpool. But you have Man City and Arsenal right now. Let me pull up the table. But Adam, as our resident Arsenal fan,
no, I defer.
Deferred.
How do you feel about this title race, kind of as a whole? Just give me your raw thoughts.
I'm happy with Arsenal's performance, regardless. A lot of people were bitching, especially after the Champions League game, and you can bitch about the performance, and rightfully so. But a lot of people are forgetting what's been going on the past few years. So if you look at where we are now compared to where we've been, we'll take this any day of the week. And you know, another thing is people act like Jose Mourinho and Pep Guardiola won the Champions League their first time when they were coaches. Also, I mean, like, delusional. So even if Arsenal, it's one of those things. It's still in City's hands with the game at hand, only a point down. It's in City's hands. They win out. They're the champions. They drop points and Arsenal win out. Then Arsenal are the champions. It looks like goal difference. I mean, that could change. 7 goal differential can change, as you can see by the Arsenal Chelsea game and even Man City's recent games. It's gonna be tight. These two teams really are. I think the one thing that people can agree on is these teams are very, 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 very evenly matched this season, which is surprising. I didn't think it would be that quick for Arsenal to like actually show up City and be like head to head with them. The kind of like similar to how Liverpool was head to head with them. When they had their runs.
Is Liverpool cooked?
Oh, for sure. I mean, come on now.
Will, is Liverpool
last
cooked?
game.
Oh, I don't want to say cooked, but they could maybe get second place. But nah, they're not going to win. They're not going to win the league.
It's done.
I don't see it for them.
I agree. It's done. They while they're mathematically still in it, there's no way they're doing it. But well, I guess give me your thoughts throughout this. I will say still it's 3-team title race, even though we all think Liverpool's done. I guess as it's been playing out over the past couple of months, like just general thoughts on everything, and what do you? And after you give your thoughts, we'll go down the Arsenal schedule and the Man City schedule and see like what could potentially happen there.
Yeah, I mean, dude, this is going to be a fun ride. Maybe for you and me, Julian, but I don't know if Adam's going to be hopping on.
It's gonna be stressful, that's for sure. A freaking tough run of it, but that's why we watch. Yeah, dude. I honestly think, like, not to say it, but I think City will be able to finish it off, like you said, Julian. We'll look at it in a little bit. I think their schedule, it's more fit for them. I think it's just built. Whether fans want to say that's biased, not biased, made up, screwed up, whatever. I think this is kind of City. This is where City comes into play. I think the good thing for both, maybe a little bit more for City's play, is that both of them are eliminated for Champions League. Because could you imagine if Man City was still trying to fight, for the Champions League? That would help Arsenal for sure.
Yeah, so it would have helped. So that kind of sucks that obviously Real Madrid ended up winning that game and stuff, but. Oh man, I just think City's. Like I said, I just feel like they're that like cat. They're just prowling, dude. They're just coming and they're climbing, and they're getting ready to just.
All it takes is one draw, though. All it takes.
It does, and they still have Tottenham. If I'm not wrong, I know Wolves. Wolves is their next matchup, but we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. Like I said, Arsenal had it, and then Aston Villa a few weeks ago.
Yeah, that Aston Villa game was tough, man. That was a tough game. That was on my birthday. Funny.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's go into the schedule. So I'm gonna pull up Arsenal first. So fixtures. These are the remaining 3 games. We have Arsenal versus Bournemouth, Man United versus Arsenal, and Arsenal versus Everton. So as we go through these 3, Adam, kind of give us your prediction on these next 3 games. Start with Bournemouth.
I think, knowing Arsenal's luck, they'll win the last 2, but lose against Bournemouth. But these are games that not mathematically, but if you look at the odds, Arsenal should win all 3 of them. Man United is not as hard of a game as it seems, even though it is in Manchester. They're just not that kind of team. They're just not. But it's still going to be tough. So, both City and Arsenal have one tough game remaining. You know, they got to play Tottenham, and we
it's
got to play
Everton.
United. And Everton, I don't know. I mean, it's not like they're fighting for relegation like they were in previous seasons, so it's not going to be as hard fought as it was, because they're really not playing for much. And it being at home will help too.
I'll go me next. Yeah, I think the Bournemouth that's going to be easy win. I think absolutely rock that team. I think that's going to be quick. Now, as for the United and Arsenal game, Arsenal should win this game. But with this being at Old Trafford and everything, and look, there's moments where you get United like rolling, and then there's moments where they just look terrible. To me, this game is lining up to be a draw. And if that happens, then it's really done. But I just... Yeah. I have this inkling. I'm sorry, Adam, but I have this inkling that this is going to be a draw. Just being away, I think United is looking to kind of spoil that for you guys. And then you guys win at Everton or win at home against Everton.
So is Tottenham. And they're better than United this season.
True.
And listen, United, I mean, they drew Burnley.
Are you going to get another Kai Havertz
They drew
Bournemouth.
They lost to fucking Chelsea because why not? This trash Chelsea.
Look, I have no reason to think that. Look, Arsenal should win this. Like, don't get me wrong, but I just have this inkling that there's just Arsenal's just going to do Arsenal things, and I just feel like there's just that United. The
odds are definitely leaning towards that.
It's going to end up being a draw. I'm sorry, man. But what do you think of these three?
Yeah, Julie. I'm sorry, Adam. I kind of got to agree, man. I just think, honestly, I think Arsenal will get up for that Man U game. I think the league will still be close. I think they'll still have a shot going into that game. So I don't think they're just going to look at Old Trafford and say, you know what, F this. I don't give a shit. You know, Saka, go play center back. You know what I mean? I think they're still going to want to get up for it. So I think they'll win. I think they'll win the United game. The Everton game, I mean, obviously, I forgot who Man City plays in their last.
Got you tying.
Wait. No. Hold on. Whoa. Let me talk. Wait. Let me finish what I was going to say. I don't think they're going to tie Everton. I could see this breaking down to the last match day where it's like a 2-point difference. City's got the 2 point. And like Adam said, if they get a draw and it comes down to goal differential at the moment, Arsenal has the advantage. And I think they'll probably still will. So I don't know. I feel like something could happen where, you just guys, you know this. We all know this. The football gods work in crazy ways. Like there are some things that we can't even say.
Seeing it like with... I joked that with Arsenal's luck, they'll screw the first two games. They'll just screw up the Bournemouth one. But in reality, with Arsenal's luck, they'll win out, and so will City. And that's just and this conversation will be bullshit.
I think more than likely they're going to win out. I think that's what's going to happen.
But then you get City winning out too. That's what I see. I see them both winning out, and that's just the end of it.
I just have this weird feeling. I don't know why that they're going to tie United. I don't know. If we come back after the 12th and that's a tie, you guys got to think I got fucking ESP or some shit like that. Or what is it? I can't remember the fuck it's called. Anyway, I'm psychic. But
psychic,
let's hop over to Man City real quick and look at this
let's
schedule.
take a quick look before we move on.
All right, so obviously they have a game in hand, which really helps them.
Like I said, the one that was looking at is Tottenham, and you can argue that West Ham's an interesting one too.
I think West Ham
is no gimmies here.
I think
there's no gimmies here. Even Wolves could be interesting.
Sure. To me, these are all for competitive games, more so than what Arsenal. I think Arsenal has a much easier route compared to City, but obviously with City being City, they are, in my opinion, the best team in the world, regardless of the fact that they lost to Real Madrid. But these are competitive games, and in the Prem, anything can happen. Obviously, I think the Fulham and the Wolves game could be potentially very close. A part of me could potentially see City drawing one of these games. I think it's very likely that it could happen. I don't think it's going to be the Fulham Wolves game, but look, Tottenham. I think that Tottenham or West Ham, man, those are. I really have a feeling they might tie one of those. Man, I'll let you guys. Yeah. Will you go? Adams already thinks they're going to win out completely.
I told you my prediction, honestly. But like I said,
need time to think about this for a second.
I could be biased, but in the wrong way, like because I'm just thinking negatively as an Arsenal fan. So I could be just seeing this as fuck it. Like, yeah, exactly. It's just like
I know Adam absolutely like he wants the Tottenham players to get like a food poisoning, and he cannot stand their guys. But for this Man City game, I think Adam's going to be repping. I mean, maybe not repping, but he's going to get up for it. I think that's the biggest shout.
He's going to get
I will cheer. I will definitely cheer a 15-0 dub by Tottenham.
Right. Yeah.
Well, so not will. Adam, would you get a Tottenham Kane jersey if Tottenham helps you guys win the title?
That's crazy.
What am I going to do with it? Just have it? Just buy it? Just to be like, haha, you fucking bought it.
You got to wear it on the next show.
I don't think I can go that far, even for a league title. I'm sorry, guys.
You got to wear it to the next game.
Not even for a league title.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, go ahead, Will. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, you're good. I think Adam's going to be the biggest Wolves, Fulham, Tottenham, West Ham fans there can be possibly in the world. All Arsenal fans will be. I don't know. I think it's interesting, honestly. Like I said, I'm a neutral watching from this, so I'm not rooting like, come on, City, or come on, Arsenal, either way. But it will be very, very interesting and intriguing to see who comes out on top and see who can win this. I think it's going to be fun. I think that FA Cup, dude, holy crap. I don't know if I'm, Arsenal or whoever, but you want those guys to have that FA Cup before the West Ham game or before, but it sucks. That's the end. So,
and here's another thing to take in consideration. Tottenham has a lot to play for as well. They're still potentially looking at a Champions League spot. They have 2 games in hand over Villa and 7 points behind. So they need to win the City game. So I think that kind of rolls in Arsenal's favor versus in Arsenal's teams they're faced. They don't really have anything to play for. United doesn't have anything to play for. Everton has nothing to play for. Bournemouth has nothing. They're all safe. But Tottenham, they got a lot to play for right there. They like I said, they're realistically looking at a Champions League spot if they can potentially win out. So, but I'm going to have to go with my gut here. I think City's going to win out, and I think City repeats again. But there's a good. It's definitely not over for Arsenal because I think City could easily draw in that Tottenham or West Ham game, especially against that Tottenham game where they really have something to play for as long as they don't bottle until the lead up to that game. But yeah. That's the Premier League title. That seems this year's been the most competitive. Everybody else saw PSG's won, Leverkusen won the Bundesliga. Inter Milan won the Serie A, and Real Madrid has won the La Liga. So this is the last one remaining. But speaking of La Liga, or you know what? Speaking of Bundesliga. Let's kind of talk about the Bayer Leverkusen. That's the one that we want
to talk about.
As a whole, this entire season, the incredible run they had. We didn't really talk about them outside of some Europa League talk, but I mean, I guess I'll bounce it over to you, Will. How awesome has it been to watch this team for you?
Dude, how awesome it has been to watch Frimpong, Granit Xhaka, all these guys, and obviously Florian Wirtz, but dude, at the same time, how funny has it been to see the Harry Kane memes? I mean, dude, that's guy.
The best part. Come on now, fuck.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie to you. Before I even go, I'm just gonna say this up front. I'm not even I'm not glad that it happened because of Leverkusen. There's only 2 reasons I'm glad it happened. Number 1, Harry Kane is still trophyless, and number 2, it's always fun when Bayern don't win the league.
Facts.
And that's it.
Yeah, completely agree. And that's why, like, I mean, Bayer
Leverkusen.
Leverkusen, and also seeing like,
And I like Xabi Alonso.
Point,
Okay, that's a lie. I like Xabi Alonso.
Yeah, and they haven't lost a game this season. That's like the craziest part about it. I mean, Bayern. Well, I forgot what Xavi was whenever he took over. They were like 16th.
They straight up are on. They could still be invincible. Like that hasn't. When's the last time we talked about that?
Yeah, I mean, what they're doing like supersedes what's going on in just the Bundesliga. I mean, just from an entire like European top 5 league level, like what they're doing is incredible, while also being in a European competition, Europa League, because Bayern Leverkusen over the past couple of years, they've been kind of pushing for Champions League spots and Europa League spots. They've been generally towards the top of the table, but they were never able to really get over that hump to really compete with the Dortmunds, the Leverkusens, the Stuttgarts, you know, the Leipzigs. And now they found their guy, and I'm super pumped to see that Xabi Alonso is staying and looking through this project. Why not? You're going into Champions League. You know, you're already won your first title, potentially two. Are they still in the Pokal? Yeah, they are still in the Pokal. They can get the treble.
For the treble. Yeah, exactly.
So I'm super excited. I'm rooting for them in the Europa League. I want them to keep on winning out. They've been the past couple games. I saw the game against Dortmund. That was a thriller. They ended up getting the tie right at the end, and then they just got the tie against Stuttgart. So, man, they're just squeaking by, man. And then they got the tie, even though they didn't need it, against West Ham in the Europa League. So I love to see this story keep on going. I want them to get the undefeated season. That would be incredible to see, and just to see what they did too with a team with no superstars. Granted, this is a very solid team with pretty much no weakness, and this is the reason why they're here. This made it this far. They have no weakness across the board. They are so well done, and I'm curious to see what they do this offseason, because while yes, there's no weaknesses, you can't upgrade. You know, you're starting to you're getting into Champions League territory if you really want to compete. There is some, while I think these players are great, they've reinvented themselves. They're all very young. They have a long future ahead of them. They're all signed up for the next few years. Like, this is a team that's built to like just completely run it back entirely. All super young.
Yeah.
But obviously,
unless someone wants to drop 200 mil for Florian Wirtz, but we'll see about that.
Yeah. But
yeah,
obviously there's moments where you can upgrade, and look, they're about to get a shit ton of more money this if they complete this undefeated season with the 3 trophies. So there's some money to be spent, and I'm curious to see what they do this offseason, if they just completely run it back or they get, you know, some upgrades, because I do think now you're getting to that territory. It's like, all right, we need to like progress a little bit if we want to continue this up. But I love to see what they're doing. It's awesome to see what's going on. I've been watching them every game so far, seeing if they can keep that unbeaten streak, and they're just super fun to watch. Like, they're so high paced, keep the ball moving, and just the way they pass their triangles is just insane. And it's crazy. I don't know if you guys saw that clip going around of like Jose Mourinho talking about Xabi Alonso and why. And this video was like from like 4 years ago, before Xavi was like a full-time manager. He was still like working his way up at Sociedad. And he was saying, he's like, if there's any player, like, is there any player the interviewer asked Mourinho, is there any player you think could be a great manager? And he said, Xabi Alonso. He's like, why? He's like, Xabi Alonso played under Pep. He's played under myself. He's played under Ancelotti. And his dad was a coach. And due to his position in the midfield and seeing the game from both sides, he's gonna be the perfect coach. And it's like, it's wild that Mourinho like fucking called that. As much as me and Adam shit on Mourinho, sometimes he says some things I'm like, fuck, you know, like, look, you can't deny his resume and what he's done in
The
this
shit
fire.
Mourinho said about Chelsea, to be honest, is facts too. Like people like talk shit about him, but everyone was like, "Come back to Chelsea," and he was like, "This is not the same Chelsea," and it's like, damn. He's really like he once he said it, everybody was like, "Shit!" It's like it really is a whole different ball game. You know?
Speaking a tiny bit of Concacaf news, did you guys see that Canada approached Mourinho and didn't even take an interview?
No. Why would he?
Like,
why would he?
Yeah,
I mean that federation
you know
is in such shambles right now.
But you know what? That's what all those fucking Canadian fans get because they talk so much shit about Costa Rica that the Canada's in the top 3 now, and it's like, bro, what are you talking about? Like, Costa Rica's been in the top 3 since as long as I've been alive.
Wait. Panama's better than both of those teams, but yeah, keep going.
What I'm saying is generally, like, historically, at the time, people were like, what resume you have? You guys don't even have a World Cup win. Costa Rica's over here made it to a quarterfinal. Made it to a quarterfinal. No disrespect for Panama, but you guys don't either. And so it's like, dude, like, calm down. So I think they got a little ahead of themselves because, like, look, we got Davies, we got Jonathan David, all Dejan Buchanan, all this stuff. It's like,
yeah.
Which, but I thought it was funny that Mourinho didn't even take a call. He didn't even want to hear what they had to say. So I'm curious to see what the Mourinho saga is. He seems like he's interested, but I just don't know where he's going to go. I don't know if he does a national team.
I don't blame him for not coming to
Brazil?
Canada. Could be.
I mean, maybe. Ancelotti's off the table. Could he go Brazil? Portuguese? Like, I don't know. Like, that's a possibility. I'm curious. I would like to see him go coach internationally. I'm really curious to see how well performs in that way.
That'd be interesting.
That would be, yeah.
I would be really interested into that. But speaking of more managers that actually are very polarizing, that is Xavi deciding to stay at Barcelona. So I'll go last. I'll point to you, Adam. Hearing this saga, saying that Xavi's, I'm done. When the summer hits, I can't handle the pressure. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm out. I'm going to finish the season and I'm out.
I mean, like, who else are they going to sign, though? That's the thing. Who are they going to get that's going to be better? At least the man knows the team and the system. Right now, it must be like, listen, like, we're not going to expect anything super, super crazy out of you, but just don't just keep this shit together at least. Is kind of what they're probably. I don't know. I could be wrong, but that's what I think. And I'm definitely sure that they're doing this because there's nobody better that they can grab right now.
Yeah.
And just as some context, in case you guys don't know, Laporta and everybody, all the other execs at Barcelona, have basically told Xavi that he needs to fire all his coaches and that they're going to bring in their own coaches. This is some side context.
It's a clean slate in the Barcelona realm. Yeah,
well, they could use it because Real Madrid are definitely they're the better team right now.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think? Did you think this was a good decision by Xavi to stay?
I don't think there's a better decision though. That's the thing. There's really nobody else that they would get right now. I think that would be better. So I think that it's not. You can't really say like, oh, is this a good or bad decision? I don't think there was any other decision. Like, that's kind of the thing.
Well, should Xavi stayed? He should he stuck to his word.
I don't think he ever should have came out, to be quite honest, and said like, oh, because I mean, he said it in multiple reports, multiple times after games.
But that's what Barcelona does to a man. I mean, look at fucking Messi.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, that's what happens with like
Barcelona. Like it's insane.
Yeah, I don't know. Like Adam said, who are you going to bring in? I mean, Jose Mourinho, that'd be crazy. I mean, that would be insane.
Lost him for a sec, but I don't think he would come back. I mean,
Mourinho's not going to Barcelona.
I think it's a similar. Yeah, it's not after everything in Real Madrid. No, I feel like for him that'd be kind of sacrilegious.
I'll say this. I think there's a lot of things wrong with this. And I think all the Barcelona fans that are excited about this are absolutely, utterly delusional and not seeing the writing on the wall. There's a reason why every other major big club is laughing at you guys. and this is coming from a Barcelona fan, someone who grew up watching them, this is a terrible decision. All they're doing is bringing in more power to Laporta, who's done nothing but let this team completely fall from what it used to be and entirely relying on La Masia. By telling Xavi to get rid of his coaching staff, the people that he picked, and then they're going to bring in their own. This is just proving to me that Xavi's just going to be an absolute puppet for whatever they want to do. Xavi's not going to be in control of the team.
That's another thing.
If anything, Xavi's getting less control of the team. He's getting less control of the team. He's literally becoming a puppet of what they're doing. And on top of that, do you really want a guy who said he can't handle the pressure and he wants to get out? What in your right mind thinks that he won't do that again? He's already, look, I get he's won the league title. That's great. Yeah. But it was one of those weird years where it's like, even though Barcelona won the title, they weren't the best team. They weren't better than Real Madrid. And Xavi has proven time and time again that his tactics have been lackluster. He's lost 4 Clásicos in a row. And the only reason why he's even getting this treatment is because he's a Barcelona legend. You take away his name being Xavi and say his name is fucking Lampard, you'd get his ass out immediately. The only reason why he's even made it this far is because he's Xavi. And look, everybody's holding on to that leg 1 in PSG where they looked great in the beginning of leg 2. But Xavi's the one, he let that team completely fucking fall apart after the red card. And we talked about it in our post-game reactions. It's like his attitude, his demeanor, it reflected onto the team. He got himself a red card and sent out because he can't handle his temper.
Oh, that was bad. That was bad.
And this isn't the first time we've seen that. Yeah. This isn't the first time we've seen that. Like, dude, your coach is the whole. Look at De Rossi in Roma. Roma got a red card against AC Milan, held the fucking line, and beat Milan, a team that is on paper way more talented than Roma, and held true because De Rossi is a good coach. He's going to be a good coach. The team rattles behind him. I don't believe people rattle behind Xavi. I just don't believe it. Things to come out saying that the players don't really like Xavi, but the next thing say players do like Xavi and they want him to stay. Like, I don't buy it because it doesn't look like they're fighting for Xavi. It doesn't seem like it. It doesn't feel like it. Players were underperforming all season. And dude, like, it's one thing you beat up on Las Palmas. It's another when you're losing 4 El Clásicos in a row. You had an easy-ass route to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Yes, you made it to the quarterfinals, which you haven't done in the past few years, but you've also been grouped in the previous 2 years. And then on top of that, the only reason why you made it this far was because you had an easy-ass group. And then on top of that, you had a failing Napoli side who just looks awful as well. And then you got exposed against PSG for who you really are. And look, it's to me, I feel like not a lot of Barcelona fans are talking about it, but this is awful. This is awful. You're going to get more of the same. I understand you guys' take and like, who else are you going to bring? I agree. But honestly, I would take my flyer. I would take a flyer on a no-name than bringing back the same. Why bring the same? You're going to get the same results. You do the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. This is the definition of insanity. Like, you're going to bring back Xavi and you're going to get the same. You're going to get absolutely waxed by Real Madrid, especially with Mbappe coming back. Why not take a flyer on somebody? There's a reason why Pep became Pep. He was built through the academy. Like, you have all these players
so what you're saying
that look great. Why not take a flyer on somebody instead of doing the same? Like a guy who, yes, won a league title, but realistically, in the grand scheme of things, how much does that really matter? So Barcelona is meant to be competing in Champions League games.
Bring in Landon Donovan. Is that good? I mean, hey, it just, let's bring somebody in, dude. F it, bro. Take him to Spain. Like,
dude, might as well get Tuchel, bro. Might as well get Tuchel. He's gonna be Bayern.
I feel like he would like it. I feel like he would fit the system well.
Obviously,
Honestly.
the goal would be Klopp, but Klopp's not going to Barcelona. One, they don't have the money. Two, I don't think he wants to deal with that. I think Klopp would have more control, and I think Laporta is not going to give him that control he would like. I think a lot of those guys in Barcelona execs really want to control the game. That's the reason why they're like, hey, look, Xavi, just be out there, bro. We got this. Like, I really think that's what it is. He's just a puppet man. But so let's move on to our final topic. I think this one's a little interesting.
It's interesting, but it's gonna be, I would say, kind of quick, unless you have a lot more to say about it, because I don't really have too much.
I'm just curious to see what the future could be for this. But the Swedish Federation has completely removed VAR from their league, and due to owners coming together saying that they opposed it, and it's officially removed from the federation. And now you're starting to see people come out saying that it's a good thing that they did this. VAR has ruined the game and all blah, 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 blah. But Adam, I'm gonna give it to you since you say you don't have much to say. Just let it out, man.
It's not VAR, it's the people. And if we did research, if I told like some graduate student for your project, you got to figure out how many decisions VAR actually helped rather than ruined, and then you'll find that it helped more than it fucked up. You can fix the people and make it more transparent. If anybody has ever watched rugby and heard the way they do the decisions, their discussions are broadcast live on the air to everybody watching that game. They hear exactly what the referee is saying to the VAR room and vice versa every single time without fail.
That's how it needs to be too.
That's what they need to do. There's ways to fix it. They think they're being cool by. That's really all it is.
Cool.
No, really, that's what it is. They're getting headlines, and they're like, "Ooh, we're Sweden, you know. We're doing our own thing.
Sweden.
Fuck VAR, you know. It's just stupid. I don't agree with it. And you know what? Let them do whatever they want to fucking do. But the product at the end of the day is going to suffer. So that's all I'm going to say on that.
I did see this counter argument, and the guy, I think, killed his own argument with saying that. So he said, before the implementation of VAR worldwide, refs were 94% correct on the calls. With VAR, it has now become 97.5% correct. He said that 3-point percentage difference is not enough, and that 3% is not enough compared to the damage that it does to the game by ruining the flow.
No. That's bullshit right there. That's the definition of fucking stats right there. He just said that it's 0.3% better, but then he said it's doing more harm than good. No, I don't want to fucking hear it, man. That's just dumb shit.
He said because it ruins the flow. He said because it ruins the flow.
Oh yeah,
you know what's
wild to me?
Sounds like a baseball fan and his pitch clock bullshit.
Yeah,
fuck out of here with this shit.
Dude, I kind of gotta completely agree with Adam, bro. I don't give a shit about the flow of the game or shit. I'm trying to get the right call, man. And I don't know if you guys saw, like, Nottingham a couple of weeks ago lost to Everton. And then there was this whole massive thing because Nottingham right now, NF, they're in this massive the relegation battle right now. It's them, Luton
Town and Sheffield.
Yeah,
we'll cut out for a second, but I wanted to put that in.
Yeah, he'll really come back. Yeah, there you go. Go ahead.
You good? Go.
Trying to fight this shit with Luton right now. So the thing is, apparently in that game against Everton, one of the VAR guys this is what Nottingham said. He was like a Luton supporter or some crap, like Adam said, or not like Adam said, but like Adam was alluding to earlier, how like these guys need to like talk out in public. It needs to be like, I don't know. I don't want to say exposed, but like, hey, who are these guys? Who are these people? Like, just do your homework on these guys. You know what I mean? Don't let me referee a World Cup qualifier game between Panama, and Nicaragua. Like, it's just like there should be like things and boundaries. And I know it gets a little bit harder when it gets to club level, nationalities or international football is a little different. But yeah, I think Sweden, I don't know. They're trying, like Adam said, they're trying to be cool. They're trying to be that one team or that one federation that's like, hey guys, look at us. Look at what we're doing.
It's just like honestly, they're just making a statement.
You know what I think it is? I don't think they want to invest into technology. I don't think the owners want to invest into the technology and
which is crazy because it's what it takes. Like Sweden.
And the absurd thing, because I was listening to this guy rant about it, about how the 3% doesn't matter. He's like, things just happen. He's like, what the fuck you talk? Goals just happen. These things make or break. Like you said, you talk about relegation battles and promotions. Happens, you're talking about millions of dollars on the line to make sure that these corrections are called. And whether or not it's just 3%, that's a 3%. That's a fuck ton. That saves a lot of people, whether it be their jobs or whatever it might be. The revenue coming in, that is absurd. Like, the answer to the VAR issues shouldn't be just getting rid of it. It should be improving it. How can we make this better? Should we add more cameras? I've always been a proponent of there needs to be 2 refs on the field. Why is soccer the only sport in the entire world that has 1 ref in the middle of the field? Like, what the fuck? I don't know about rugby. I don't know. Adam, you might attest. You might be better than me on that. But at least the sports that I follow, there's more than just 1. It's a big ass field. Put 2 refs on there. And then you also have the VAR on top of it. Don't take away things like offside technology like the Premier League did.
Look how small a hockey rink is. I know that's a different thing, but look how small a hockey rink is. And they got 2
and they got
refs.
They got
that's
2 linesmen and 2 refs.
Yeah, they have 4 refs on there.
Yeah, they have 2 linesmen, 2 refs.
You need to have 2 middle refs and then you obviously keep your 2 linesmen. But the answer shouldn't be, oh, we need a movement because it sucks. First off, like you said, regardless, improvement is an improvement. You can't just tell a business, hey, we had a 3% increase in revenue. This sucks. We need to stop doing this. Like, no, what the fuck? Like, that makes no sense.
Yeah, that's the dumbest thing ever. If anything, if in business, if you see a 0.3% or a 3% increase, you're like, good. So something's going up. Now what do we do that's more? How do we make it more?
Make it. And the answer isn't to be, let's remove offset technology because we don't like it. Because
it's like, that's fair. It's like, 0.3% increase. That's not good enough. Fucking scrap it. Improve it first. See what you can.
Or like La Liga in this past the most recent El Clasico. It's like, you have offside technology, but you don't have goal line technology. Like, how do you not have goal line technology? How do you oppose that? That makes no sense to me. Utilize the ability of what we can do to make the game better, make it smoother. First off, calls are, I don't even buy the flow of the game bullshit, because there's countless times where the ref points to the VAR and lets them keep on playing, and then the VAR tells them it's good. Otherwise, he would have to think and make a rash decision in that moment that may be wrong or right, and he can't go back on it. It's good to have a guy bird's eye view and have a dude watching your 6, making sure that these are the right things going on. So I don't understand. And look, I don't want to single out a certain fan group, but it seems to always be the English fans that are always against the VAR, which is the most wild thing to me. And mind you, the guy that I was referring to was an Englishman. And it's like, I don't understand this concept, because if anything, you guys were absolutely screwed for not having VAR. Diego Maradona, the hand of God, was a fucking handball and knocked you guys out. If anybody should be more pro VAR,
and when they had that goal line technology issue in the South African World Cup, what was it, Lampard? Yeah, they scored a banger that was clearly across the line. They had video evidence that proved it. So even without goal line technology, if they just had VAR, they would have had video proof that it crossed the line.
Yeah,
but knowing them,
and I don't want to pinpoint just them, but they seem to be the most vocal, and I don't know if it's because mostly we watch our stuff in English, so it just happens to be that way. But just the general idea that people are against VR is just absolutely wild to me. But whatever. But we're gonna end it off with those segment there's. We're gonna bring back trivia questions. So I'm gonna point it to you, Adam. Hit us with a trivia question. Let us know what you think.
You gotta get all 3 for this one, because 2 of them are easy. Okay.
Let's go.
This is UEFA Champions League.
All right. Me and Will are working together on this, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you want to work together?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
There are 3 teams in UEFA Champions League history to have won the competition 3 times in a row.
Okay,
Name
Real Madrid.
all those 3 teams. One of them was easy because it was recent. So Real Madrid, you got that.
Real Madrid. All right.
Name the other 2.
I'll let you go next, Will, because I have an idea.
I'll give you a hint if you need it.
We'll take that hint. We'll take the hint.
One of them is still in the Champions League.
One of them is still
Bayern.
Bayern's number 2, but you need to get the third one. The third one is going to throw you off.
All right.
I feel like
it happened.
Ajax?
I'll give you a hint for this. It's before. Wait. So what was your guess?
Ajax, right?
Congratulations.
There it is.
Got it. Ajax is the third.
Wow,
Okay.
dude. You know what I was gonna say?
What were you
I was
gonna
gonna
say?
AC Milan. I was gonna say Milan.
Ooh, I would have thought.
Because
Yeah,
I think
that could have been one. Yeah.
because I think they have the second most titles, only behind Madrid. I was gonna say Milan, but I think you're right. I think the Ajax one was what
It
like
is,
in the 70s.
It was before now. The hint I was gonna say before you got it was the third team that you haven't named yet. It happened before 1980.
Okay.
I was gonna say I think it was in the 70s because you know it's crazy. I was just watching a YouTube short showing like Champions League trophies per teams, and I was trying to recollect of when I saw the three peats.
Yeah.
All right, Adam, you got another one for us?
I do not. That was the one I've just been sitting on for like a couple months, so I was waiting.
Okay.
I'm not even joking. So I was like, I'll just wait and then I'll figure another one. That's because that's a good one.
Right.
I like that one.
All right, here we go. We're gonna switch to some Concacaf.
Okay.
So,
well then I'm fucked.
You got this, Adam. Before Seattle, name all 4 non-Mexican teams to win the Concacaf Champions Cup / CCL since 1998.
Oh fuck that! You think I'm gonna get that?
Let's work
Besides
together on
Seattle,
this one. Wait. You said the 4 Mexican teams? Julian?
4 non-Mexican teams.
Ooh. Okay.
That ain't, see, like that's what I'm saying. I can't do that. I don't have Concacaf knowledge like that.
Is the 4 teams come from 2 countries?
Costa Rica, right, is one.
Costa Rica is one country, but what are the teams?
What's the fucking other one though?
Alajuelense. I know Alajuelense won.
Yes. 2004.
Yeah. Wait, is the other team from Costa Rica?
Yes, there's one more team from Costa Rica.
Dude, there's no fucking way. Did Saprissa win?
Yes, in 2005, right after Alajuelense. So they Costa Rica went back to back in 2004, 2005. And then the other country is the United States.
To win, dude, fuck. Didn't DC United won once?
DC United was the first MLS team to win the Continental Tournament in 98. There's one more team left.
Oh my God, dude.
You said American?
I'm going to Google this shit.
I mean, if it's American,
I won't.
and if it's American, I'm just gonna go with the obvious one first. It's got to be LA, right? LA Galaxy.
Yep, LA Galaxy was the final team in the year 2000.
Let's go.
It has. I mean, like, yeah, because I didn't know, but once you gave the hint with them, that was actually America. Then I was like, okay. I didn't know. I thought for a second, you said when you said besides Seattle, I was thinking non-American at that point. That's why I was like, oh fuck that. Are you there? Like,
no, I just said besides Seattle. So yeah, 98 it was DC United, 2000 was LA Galaxy, 2004 was Alajuelense, 2005 was Saprissa, and then nothing since 2005 till Seattle. So fun fact, even though that DC and LA Galaxy won the Continental Tournament, they never actually played in the Club World Cup. One, because in 98, Club World Cup didn't exist. And in 2000, that year was actually suspended. They didn't do it that year. So that makes Seattle the first team to actually play in the Club World Cup, because even though they weren't the first to compete. Mind you, that regarding MLS, Alajuelense and Saprissa both competed in the Club World Cup as well. But I thought it was shout out to the Costa Ricans for getting back-to-back that year.
Crazy.
All right. I got another question here. This is the final one.
All right.
This one's interesting. I don't know if you guys will get this, but I'll give you hints along the way. All right. While Sevilla reigned supreme in titles for the Europa League, which Italian giant boasts the highest number of points ever accumulated in the Europa League?
Is this like a easier than we think? It's going to be a top team.
Yeah.
Wait, Julian, what was the question?
I'm gonna go Roma.
Incorrect. Well, do you got it?
Ooh.
What was the question again?
All right, I'll
The
start
most
over.
points in group stage, right?
I'll start over for the short. Okay, so we can break this off into a short. All right. Well, your camera's off, by the way. All right, here we go.
My bad. My fault. All right, go ahead.
While Sevilla reigns supreme in titles, which Italian giants boast the highest number of points ever accumulated in the Europa League?
What the fuck just happened?
What the?
Try that again.
What the hell?
Try that again.
What just happened?
Just do it. Just ask the fucking question again.
All right,
Yeah.
I'll do
Can you
it.
ask that again, Julian?
You could edit
Yeah,
my
I
Roma
have.
answer in there. It's going to be a pain in the ass for you, but you can do it.
All right, here we go. While Sevilla reigns supreme in titles, which Italian giant boasts the highest number of points ever accumulated in the Europa League?
AC Milan.
Nope. Adam, you got to guess?
I'm going to say... I'm going to say Juventus. Fuck it.
Nope. It is Inter Milan.
I was going to say them, but I was like, that's too obvious. I didn't want to go with them.
It was
All right,
Inter Milan.
Fucking win.
You guys want to roughly guess how many points they got all time?
No chance I'm going to get that.
They have 236 points total. So they have the most points ever accumulated in the Europa League, even though Sevilla actually has the most titles. So, yeah.
Cool.
Those are our trivia questions for the week.
All right.
I thought those were interesting. We haven't done it in a while. Figure we bring it back next week. Maybe you come back with us with some.
Yeah. I usually come with one. You don't need to come with multiple, and you can go wherever you want. International.
Yeah, we can all do
fourth division.
Because now that we used to, me and Julian, like Julian would do like 2 or 3, and I would usually do 1 because I didn't have as much time to prep. But now that now with the 3 of us, we could just each do 1, or like we could, one of us, like Julian can always have a second one in the chamber just in case, like one of us, because sometimes like I'm busy and I like don't have one, so I tell him like before, like, hey, I don't have a trivia question, whatever. I just couldn't get
Barbados,
one.
4th division. I got you guys. Study up on that.
Please not too hard.
Who's the top all-goal scorer in Barbados right now?
Oh my God.
Who wins the who has the best head-to-head record in the Virgin Derby? You know what?
All right.
Next.
Well, yeah. There you go. All right.
All right. Well, thank you guys for making it to the end of the episode. I thought it was a fun one to actually just shoot the shit and talk and discuss some topics that are going around the world. But later this week, I should say, we're going to be covering the UEFA Champions League, Europa League, as well as the Concacaf Champions League, kind of break down what happened. Obviously, recording this on Tuesday. Real Madrid is going on. Will's already watching the Chivas Copa America game. So Thursday, stay tuned for that. It's going to go up on Friday to see kind of our entire reactions of what went down in the major tournaments. But any final thoughts, guys?
I think we've covered it all. It was a nice, juicy episode of discussions.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. So we'll keep it going, keep it rolling.
Yeah, shout out to all the new subscribers. We're on the road to 200 subs. We're almost there. We're at 181 currently. Every day we're getting more and more. So hopefully we're on the journey to not only 200, but eventually hit 1,000. That'd be a great achievement for us. So you guys know what to do. Like, subscribe. If you guys are listening on the audio platforms, please leave a rating. I noticed we're getting a lot of Apple Music people, so please be sure to leave a review on Apple Music, whether it be we don't know what the fuck we're talking about, or we're stupid and 1 star. You know what? And if you guys are interested in talking more about American sports, right now we have the NBA playoffs going on, as well as the NHL and the NFL draft just surpassed, so on and so forth. listen to the regular Real Fans podcast show where we talk everything in the top 4 major sports in America. And yeah, we will catch you guys in the next episode. Peace out, everybody.